no, like if you don't niche down, it ain't happening.
All
So
right.
every post I would just hemorrhage followers, and I'm like, man, this just isn't working out. So I tried it really, in earnest for 6 months or so, and
Mhm.
you can go way far back, like 5 or 6 years ago, and see some of those ridiculous posts that are just absolutely horrible. But yeah, that's kind of where the turntable to the dark side thing came from, and fusing my two biggest passions, I guess. So.
Oh, so I
Yeah.
was totally wrong because I swear you was like a DJ. I was totally wrong, bro.
I also make that
Like start
turntable.
mixing it.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a completely reasonable assumption, and
Yeah.
you're not the first person to think that. So yeah, no worries there.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
so how long have you been collecting for?
Well, I mean, since I was a kid, like everybody, we go through that. Well, I guess my progression, like I said, I was a musician, or still kind of ish am, but I dropped the toy collecting and the nerd stuff for a minute, and picked up the guitar and thought I was going to be cool and get the ladies, and how we all do that, man. Come on,
Yeah.
we all go through that phase.
Yeah.
And so I dropped it for quite some time. Thankfully, my dad is a big comic book collector, so he kind of had the foresight to save a lot of my stuff that I otherwise probably would have maybe not tossed myself, but
Mhm.
like a lot of my most expensive stuff, my parents' mom
Same.
accidentally sold off, at yard sales and stuff after I moved
Wow.
out. Yeah, I'm
Wow.
sure you all have one of those stories that's
Yeah.
Yard sale.
heartbreaking.
So that was like
Yeah.
$8 figure. $8. My gosh, so
Now it's like
cheap.
$400. It's like, why do you do that to me?
Straight up.
But yeah, sorry, I kind of got off track there. What was the original question? Did I even answer it? Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been collecting?
Yes,
for?
yes. So
Since you was a kid.
I went through that phase, obviously, and I kind of circled back after I'd grown up and stopped caring about what everybody thought, and came back to it probably around 2014-ish. So it was
Mhm.
like right before the Disney sequel stuff really started kicking into high gear, and so I kind of dipped my toe in, and then of course when Force Awakens came out, I was fucked.
So how do you feel about now that being that you're a Star Wars fan?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about Disney owning Star Wars?
What the fucking fuck?
You got to tread lightly with this one,
No. Go.
It almost doesn't matter what you say, you're gonna piss somebody off.
Hey, settle down. Take it easy. What the scallop? I'm triggered.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
corporations suck, man. I mean, nobody loves Disney, or I mean, I take that back. Obviously, there are people out there that absolutely love Disney, and I'm not going to be a jerk and call them a shill like I've been called 1,000 times just for simply not hating Star Wars enough as a Star Wars fan, which is a weird situation to be in these days. When the Acolyte came out, I did what I thought was a hilarious meme, and because I didn't dislike it enough, I just got eviscerated, for weeks, actually. Just like I got my first death threat.
He does. You will die. Sylvester. Okay. Die.
That was fun. And I'm like, bro, it's a meme. Like, it's literally a joke. What are you talking about?
Man, this is great. This is fantastic. Okay, so this is good for me. We're here. Disney, shout out to Marvelous for the alley. Disney and Star Wars thing is definitely something we're all aware of. Like, nobody really enjoys it. Marvel and Disney, nobody really enjoys it. So I can share that sentiment through Marvel, being like danced all over, and they're trying to do all these little things, but they're never putting the pieces together. And so the Acolyte was like, it was like something that's like a placeholder maybe until they do something better. Did you enjoy the Mandalorian and the Boba Fett and the Obi-Wans and
I don't hate most of what Disney's produced. I guess my point in saying that is just the overall macro level of, like, nobody likes corporations. So of course, I'm not going to be like, yeah, hell yeah, Disney.
Yeah.
But but that's not to say that they've screwed it all up. You know,
Uh-huh.
I love the first 2 seasons of Mando. I know a lot of people dislike Ahsoka, but like seeing
Right.
Hayden in Ahsoka, I mean, I'm not even embarrassed to admit, grown ass man, like I teared up, dude. Like that was
It was slow.
moving.
It was
You know,
slow. It picked up.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, it grew on me, you know. And I'm not a Star Wars guy, so like just the storytelling and then me liking the actual actor, I was like, hey, this is cool, but she just needs to like fight for real.
Oh shit, what's cool?
Like, let's see a real fight, you know. Let's see some real stakes, you know what I'm saying? But the Obi-Wan thing, was that okay with you?
See, I mean, there were some story beats that I had issues with. I love Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is one of my favorite Star Wars characters, maybe my favorite. And, you know, I mean, I'm sure you guys know you kind of go back and forth with who's your favorite on any given day. But like, I love Obi. I've always loved Obi. You know, I was a prequel kid. So I had some issues. Mainly the shaky cam. It's like, what's the budget for this shit? Just for God's sake, strap on a belt and you know, hold it steady. Like I just why's it got to look like this? Anyway, I digress. But the final fight was awesome, and you know, did it make up for everything? Like it kind of did for me. But I guess I am a shit.
You know what? I'm not a huge Star Wars fan either. Well,
I
can't say either. I'm speaking for Comrade and Collector. I know. I think I know more than they know about Star Wars because I own a few Star Wars hot toys. Right. I got into Star Wars when the Mandalorian came.
Sure.
Enjoyed every season of that. Even the last one wasn't so good, but I still enjoyed it.
Same.
You know, right. So I went over to Boba Fett, enjoyed that season. People hated it, but I never knew shit about Boba Fett. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't the best, but it also wasn't as bad as I think.
Right. And then I moved over to Ahsoka. And I stopped there. I haven't seen anything other than those three. And like, you know, some people just, you got your diehard Star Wars fans, man, was like you say, hey man, Luke Skywalker, he I don't know, he died on Mustafar. I don't goddamn it know. And so it's like, well, first of all, like, let me tell you, like, they gotta break it down to you. Right, there you go.
Let me tell you something.
There you go.
Well, you're almost correct, but see.
There you go, right there.
Dude. I know, man.
I ain't gonna lie, when I was watching what was it? I think it was Mando. It was Mando when they CG'd in Luke, and I was like, can they do that? Can they Michael Jackson Luke in here? Can they Mike Jack Luke into this episode? And everybody's okay with it? Like, is everybody seeing this? And nobody said nothing crazy. You know, everybody was just rolling with it. Like, oh, Luke. I'm like, this is not him.
The reception was overall pretty solid. Yeah, you're not wrong.
People loved it, bro. People loved it, man.
I cried. I mean, like, not full on, but like I was, you know. Swiping them away at the end for sure. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you can let a salad with it.